Hi guys, today I'm so excited to be going over my top 20 favorite cozy mystery series. You guys asked for it. This has been a very difficult video to put together because I love so many cozy mystery series, but these are ones that just really stand out to me time and time again for ones that make so many of my recommendations videos. So they're just ones that make my heart happy. They're ones that when I see a new release coming out in the series, I just jump on it because I'm so excited. So the first series I want to talk about is the one that actually got me into cozy mysteries. I actually reread the first two books in it last year, and it held up the test of time for me. And that is the Pizza Lovers Mystery Series by Cavender. This is one of my first cozies ever. A Slice of Murder being the first book in this series. It takes place in Timber Ridge, North Carolina. Our main character is Eleanor Swift. She is a recent younger widow and she runs a Slice of Delight with her sister Maddie, who runs the front end of the operation while Eleanor makes the pizzas. There are mouth-watering scenes in this about the pizza oven. It's so delicious. I love the employees in this. I love the sister relationship and dynamics. They're very much like, you know, they'll bicker, but if you touch my sister, like, I will like come after you kind of relationship, which I love. And I just fell in love with the series. The food descriptions are wonderful if you love foodie cozies. I love the sister bond. The mysteries are great. This led me to read other series by Cavender under his different pen names, and I just adore the series. I would strongly recommend it. It's such a good series and I feel like it's not really one that's talked about, but it got me into cozies and I love it. Another longtime favorite for me has been the Noodle Shop Mystery Series by Vivien. Chien. This is the first in the series, Death by Dumpling. Our premise for the series is Lana Lee. She comes back to her family's restaurant in the first book after a dramatic workplace exit. She is in her very late 20s, I want to say. She has a pug. She lives with a roommate named Megan, who they have a great relationship. They have such a fun, I want her as a roommate if I was gonna have a roommate kind of situation. Her family, there's a lot of complicated family dynamics in this, but she works at the noodle shop primarily as like a host or manager because she doesn't actually cook, which becomes a point of contention at some points. And the restaurant is in a place called Asia Village, so it's this giant plaza of all these different Asian restaurants and other stores and establishments. So there's like a spa, there's a bookshop, a record shop, like all of these different places, and it's just a wonderful community, and most of the mysteries take place in Asia Village. I love this. I think it is a phenomenal cozy mystery series. I think book 10 just came out. I need to get my hands on it, but otherwise I'm caught up on the series. It is such a good one and I would recommend reading it in order if you can. In terms of non-food cozies, I absolutely adore the Christmas Tree Farm Mystery Series by Jacqueline Frost, also known as Bree Baker. The other one from this same author actually made this list, which is a Seaside Cafe Mystery Series. I love both of these series so much. I finished the Seaside Cafe Mystery Series and I'm so sad it's over, and this one I'm completely caught up on. So the Seaside Cafe Mystery Series is a phenomenal like summery cozy mystery. It takes place with our main character Everly Swan. She comes back to her hometown. She's got two amazing aunts in the area who are just a hoot. They're so eccentric and loving and I adore them. And she opens an iced tea shop. So it's a really fun premise. And then in the first one she finds a body near that. She's a suspect in the crime. Very classic cozy mystery setup. I actually really like the romance in that series, which is pretty uncommon. I'm not a big romance reader, but I love that series romance. Then the Christmas Tree Farm Mystery Series involves Holly White, who comes back to this Christmas themed town where her folks have like, they have a Christmas tree farm. And they run all of these like reindeer games. That's like a big tourist attraction every year. So each book takes place leading up to Christmas. So I mean, if you're looking for a Christmassy series, this would be my recommendation. I also love the Year-Round Christmas series by Vicki Delaney, but this one's still my very favorite. And Holly gets up to all different types of shenanigans. I love her family in this. There is a neighbor of hers named Cookie who has a goat named Theodore. Yeah, that's all you need to know, really. I love Theodore. I love the setting. This is about as Christmassy as it possibly gets. Each book is packed with Christmas activities and festivals and events and Christmas balls and games, and I mean, it is just wonderful. Like, if you're looking for a pure Christmas cozy series, this is it. I adore it and I look forward to the new releases every single year. A series that I am so sad is over is the Pen and Ink Mystery Series by Krista Davis. Now, I have read several series from Krista Davis, or I'm working my way through several of them. I think she is a phenomenal writer across the board, but this is my favorite series from her, and there are only 4 books, and it looks like that's it. This is the Pen and Ink Mystery Series. As you can probably tell from this cover, this is a bookish cozy with a coloring book bent. I love. Our main character in this is Florrie Fox. She runs and manages a bookshop, but there's also a large section for coloring books, and she herself is an artist who will also draw coloring books, and she'll draw the crime scenes as she goes along, which is really interesting to help her remember different details for the mysteries, which I think is really interesting and unique. It takes place in Georgetown, Washington. There are just some really fun, interesting mysteries in this series, and I am just beyond sad that there's only 4 in the series because I love it so much and I've read all of them. So anyways, this is one that definitely just makes my list when I was thinking of favorite cozies. I just think the concept and the theme and the covers for this are just exceptionally beautiful. I love Florrie's boss in this. She stays in his guest house. He is quite an eccentric, rich, older gentleman, and I just love him and her relationship. I love this series. It is so good. I'm like, please give it a revival. I really need more for this. Speaking of a series that I need more from, we'll never stop harping about this series. That's the Mountain Lodge Mystery Series by Diane Kelly. I have started reading her other series, the Fixer Upper series this year, and I'm really enjoying that as well. But this is the Mountain Lodge Mystery Series. This one is fantastic for autumn and winter especially. Our main character is Misty Murphy. She is turning 50 in the first book, and she's just gone through an amicable divorce with her husband, which is actually really sweet. They actually have a nice friendship throughout this, and they have like 2 sons who are college aged, which I like to see that they're, you know, still very friendly and good friends throughout this. And she uses her money that she gets from the divorce settlement to buy this mountain lodge that needs a lot of work and to restore it and open it. And I love the writing in this. It is so atmospheric. There's also chapters told from the cat Yeti's perspective, just little short ones, and they just add so much humor and fun to it. She does that in her Fixer Upper series as well with the cat Sawdust. And I love Misty. I think Misty is a phenomenal character. I love that she's 50. I feel like we don't get a lot of sleuths who are in like their 40s or 50s. It feels like it's like sleuths in their 20s and 30s, and then it jumps to like 60 and up, which all of those age groups are great, but I'm like, what about the 40s and 50s here? And I just love this part of her life. I think it's wonderful. I love the surrounding wilderness and nature. I mean, just look at these covers. So beautiful. And the mysteries have surprised me time and time again. There's always really unique clues that I think are so clever, and I just love this. So I mean, the mysteries, the characters, the setting, the atmosphere, the cats. I don't know what else to tell you other than I just adore this series, which is how I'm going to end each of these books when I'm describing them, but I love, these are my favorites. These are my favorites. A very fun series that I started reading last year and I'm now caught up on and cannot wait for book 4 this year is the Joss Miller series by Tyora Moody. I feel like this is such an underrated, under-discussed, under-hyped series. This is Double Mocha Blues and a Latte Mayhem. We have Espresso Secrets coming out, I think, in November. I'm really excited for it. Joss Miller is 20-something. She's like in her late 20s, I want to say. She's a barista at this coffee shop that's it's a local coffee shop. They do all these promotions with the arts and like arts events, so there's a lot of emphasis on local arts and music, which I like. But Joss herself is also doing her own side hustle, which is a true crime podcast, and you get to read the transcripts from her interviews in this, which is very unique, I think, for cozy mysteries. I see that a lot more in thrillers or other mysteries, but not cozies, and I really love it. And she focuses in on cold cases in this, so there is a little more discussion of violence or some like darker topics and themes in this. It is still very much a cozy series, but just keep that in mind. And I love this. The first one centers around her actually trying to solve or bring more exposure to a cold case in her own family, which I really like. And I just love this series. This series inspired me to read the Eugenia Patterson mystery series by this author, which is actually where Joss originally appears, if you're a fan of that series. And I'm working my way through that and really loving it. But I love this. I think Joss is a really passionate young woman. I love her drive for justice. I love the barista, the cozy coffee scenes, and the local community that comes there. It is just top, like, peak coziness with the coffee vibes, but so fascinating with the interviews for the Justice, like the Cold Justice podcast. I just love it. I think it's a very unique cozy, and I'm looking forward to more coming out in this series. Would this list be complete without the Cheese Shop Mystery Series by Korina Moss? I don't think so. It wouldn't be for me, at least. So I adore the Cheese Shop Mystery Series. I think I'm 1 or 2 behind right now. I need to catch up. But our main character in this is Willa, and in the first book she is opening a French-inspired cheese shop in Sonoma Valley, and I love the cast of characters in this in particular. Willa and Team Cheese, as they call themselves, are phenomenal. You have Miss Schultz, who is, I think she's somewhere in the middle of her 60s. She's a retired teacher. Love her. You have, if you can hear the pitter patter, that's Boaz running around with this Chewy right now. Sorry. You have Archie, who's like a college student who just is all heart. I love the characters in this. Her friend Baz. I mean, they are just absolutely wonderful. The cheese scenes, oh my goodness. As a cheese lover myself, I love it. I love it so much. But the writing, it's like a hug. It's like a warm, inviting, delicious, cheesy hug, and I am here for it. If you're looking for a great foodie cozy, I strongly recommend this. This one in particular, Gone for Good, is probably it's very close to being my all-time favorite probably. It's book 2 and it is autumn themed. So if you're interested in an autumn cozy, check this one out. But I just adore the series. The characters, it is so, it's like fondue. It's like warm and melty and delicious, and I love it and recommend it to everyone I know because it's great. Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Q. Sutanto. I am in love with this author's work, okay? I have read both her thrillers and her cozies. I need to get to her Dial A for Auntie's series, but otherwise I think I've read pretty much everything else that she's come out with in the mystery genre, and she does it all. Cozy mysteries, thrillers, like everything. She does it so incredibly well. And this is now a series. We have a book 2 that I read this year and I just adored it. But Vera Wong is described as an elderly Chinese mother, and she thinks who better than her to solve a murder. Basically, she runs this tea shop, and in the first book it is very empty. She doesn't have a lot of customers. She lives above the shop. One morning, you know, she has her routine. She comes downstairs to start brewing tea for the day. There's a dead body in the middle of her tea shop. Just lying there. So she calls 911 as you would. But while she's waiting for the police, she decides who better than me to solve this mystery, and she starts to snoop around the body, and she actually pockets some evidence and ends up solving this. This has so much found family in it. It'll make you emotional. And the humor, like the humor that Jessie Q. Sutanto infuses into the writing will make you cackle. I love it. Vera Wong is simultaneously like adorable but hilarious and so mothering to all these people and like kind of like lost souls. She just comes across all these like suspects as she's going, and she kind of just adopts them and takes them under her wing and makes them part of her family. And it's just so lovely. And it just, if you're needing a book to just make you feel better about life and the world and to be like a really good cozy escape and to remind you that goodness still exists in the world, this is a good book for that. I know that's a big claim, but I really just, Vera Wong is like just such, like I want her to be like another grandmother for me. I think she is so lovely, and I love the tea scenes. There's a lot of delicious cooking scenes as well, where she will invite herself over to people's homes to interrogate them, but also kind of take them under her wing as found family, and I love it. I love it so much. Speaking of found family, Murder Runs in the Family by Tamara Barry. There's only one book out in this series, and there needs to be more. If there's not more coming out in this series, I'm going to be devastated. But as far as I know, this is a series. This is the cover here. It came out this year, and it's just, again, I mean, the writing, it is so witty. Tamara Barry, if you're looking for humor in your writing, she does a phenomenal job with that. She's a very funny writer, very witty. Our main character in this is Amber, and she's a former private investigator in training. She flees from a bad relationship, and she goes to her grandmother Jade, who lives in this retirement community. But she's never actually met her grandmother, and her mother doesn't even have nice things to say about her grandmother, but she's desperate. She shows up, and her grandmother welcomes her in with open arms, and she's welcomed into this very fun retirement community, and it's just lovely. These people are so lovely. I want to hug all of them and spend time with all of them. I love them. However, the night of her arrival, the Admiral, as he's nicknamed, is found dead, and no one really seems that shocked. And Amber starts to investigate this murder, and the police actually are looking at her own grandmother. Also, there's an entire missing tortoise storyline in this that I was just living for throughout this, and it was phenomenal. So good. So the Admiral's prized pet tortoise is on the run, and Amber is trying to locate the tortoise and find out what happened to the Admiral. This mystery was phenomenal. It was such a good, just solid mystery. I really enjoyed it. I loved Amber as she's discovering her relationship with grandmother Jade and actually wondering at certain points, could my grandmother have done it? It is such a funny read. I adored it. It's so good. Red Chat Mystery Series by Winnie Archer. Another series that is unfortunately wrapped up, but there are, I think, 8 in the series, so you do have a pretty good lineup to start with. I have Crust No One and A Murder You'll Regret here. Our main character in this series is Ivy. This takes place in Santa Sofia, California. In the first book, she returns to this town after her mother's death, which was kind of like a hit or run. It's a little mysterious. And she starts to work as a bread shop assistant. She's really lost, and this kind of helps her find some purpose in her life again. And it's very healing to her. And the bread shop is very special. It's run by these sisters, and it's specifically, I think it's like a Mexican bakery, and there are so many delightful recipes that they make in this. It just sounds scrumptious, and this is actually what inspired me to make my own bread for the first time, and it was lovely, and I still make bread to this day, and it truly is healing. And Ivy is just learning to cope with her mother's death throughout the series. She has this adorable, amazing octogenarian neighbor, Miss Branford, who has so much sass and wit, and I love her so much. So this is just a wonderful series. The characters really stand out. She has a pug named Agatha. The bread shop scenes are delicious. Some of the mysteries for this were surprisingly a little darker than your average cozy, but still very cozy and an amazing read. So I would really recommend this. I think the community in this series is especially good. A series that only has 3 books in it that I adore and that I read the whole series this year is the Popcorn Shop Mystery Series by Kristi Abbott. Here are 2 of the books in the series. This one here, Kernel of Truth, is the first one, and we even have an adorable poodle named Sprocket. Our main character in this is Rebecca Anderson, and she has had a failed marriage with a famous TV chef. She's going back to her hometown in Ohio, and she's like, okay, I'm opening a gourmet popcorn shop, which wasn't in her plans, but she's going for it. The popcorn recipes in this are delightful. I've actually made some in vlogs. I'll link the Cozy Mystery Baking vlog above. I did like a s'mores popcorn bar. It was delicious. But the mysteries in this really stand out to me. I really love the descriptions of the business and the popcorn making, and her popcorn loving poodle Sprocket. I mean, come on. Sprocket is adorable. He's a big part of the plot lines, which I love. And I just think these have so much panache. I think they're just so fun and packed to the brim with just funny scenes that'll just make you smile, interesting family moments, a lot of great like friends and like the kind of Main Street area that the popcorn shop was on. There's some other interesting businesses in the area. There's some drama with her ex-husband who's a TV chef who doesn't always know what no means apparently. And I just love this series, and I'm so bummed out there's only 3. I truly am. And I don't know if the author has other books, but I need to figure out if they do, because this is just such a colorful, delightful series, and I really want more from it. A series that is ongoing that I love is the Deputy Donut Mystery Series by Ginger Bolton. This one is Boston Scream Murder, which is the Halloween edition. Our main character in this is Emily Westhill, and she runs a Deputy donut shop with her father-in-law, and unfortunately her husband has passed away in the line of duty as a police officer, so she is kind of a younger widow, but she's got a great relationship with her in-laws, which I love seeing, and her father-in-law run this Deputy Donut shop. She's actually an ex-911 operator, but she ends up stepping away from that after her husband's death because it's just too much for her, and her father-in-law opened this donut shop because her husband loved donuts so much and she loves to bake them. So Deputy Donut is actually the cat as well. The shop is named after Depp, which is lovely. He's a very active part. If you love a cat cozy, this is an amazing cat cozy and donut cozy. The donut scenes will make your mouth water, and this one just involves all of these fun events like carnivals, festivals, big birthday parties. Oh, hello, Mr. Bo. Do you want to say... Hi, buddy. Aw, yes. Do you like donuts? He's like, I don't know. You never let me have one. Oh yeah, okay. I will have to find a doggy donut for you one day, okay? I will. I promise you. If you're new to my channel, this is Boaz. He is my chocolate Boston I adopted this year. I'm so grateful we have him. But this is just a wonderful series. It's got so much heart. I would read this in order. There's a lot of developing subplots with both Emily and different side characters in this. I love her father-in-law. I love her cat. I love everything about this. The mysteries are solid. The location in Wisconsin is really idyllic and lends itself to a lot of beautiful different snowy season mysteries and fall. Like it has all the seasons, which is really lovely for a cozy, and I really enjoy it. Ellen Byron. Okay, I just started reading her last year and I have become obsessed, absolutely obsessed. So I actually have 2 of her books on my list here, 2 of her series. The first is the Cajun Country mystery series, which takes place I think in Louisiana, Cajun country, and our main character is Maggie Crozat. Her entire family runs this plantation B&B. And it's beautiful. They have all of these different events there and these kooky capers that happen around the B&B, and you'll just love that. I love her grandmother especially. Absolutely love her grandmother. Maggie herself is also an artist, so there's quite some there's some really interesting subplots around her painting and helping other maybe like local artists in the area, which I love. I especially love this one on audio. That's how I've consumed most of the series. The narrator is excellent. The mysteries are great. There's a lot of fun seasonal ones. I just read the Murder at the Bayou Boneyard one, which is like the Halloween edition of the series, and it was phenomenal. So I highly recommend that. But I also love her new series, which is the Golden Motel mystery series. This is the second book in the series, which just came out in July. I love this. This might be my favorite just by a little bit. I don't know. I really, really adore this series. Okay, we have grabbed his favorite blanket and he settled down. Anyways, this one here features a former TV sitcom writer, Dee, and actually it's really fun because Ellen herself was, I think, like a TV writer, so really, really fun. She's definitely got the experience to go in with this. But Dee and her ex-husband turned business partner, Jeff, so another kind of amicable, very much like they realized they were better off as friends situation, and they opened the Golden Motel together in this mining town, which I personally love as a setting. I find mining towns fascinating, and this takes place in California in the village of Found Gold. So you can guess a bit of the history there, but the mysteries for this are great. There is a rogue bear going around in this who I just adore. He makes me, his nickname is Stony, for reasons that are explored later in the book, but you get to learn a bit about mining history. There's so many funny, like, witty dialogue moments that I adore. I love the sitcom background. I think that's super interesting. I love the logistics with them running the hotel. I think it's just a fascinating, brilliant series. Everything about it, I love it so much. There's just nothing I would change. I love this series. I cannot wait. I need a 3rd book. A 3rd book needs to be coming out next year or I'm going to riot because I love this series. It is just so good. By Valerie Burns, I have the Baker Street Mystery series, and this one is a really good, short, sweet, dog-heavy, baking-forward, cozy mystery series. These are short, sweet ones. I would read them in order. There's a lot of building upon past subplots throughout this series, so it is important to read these in order. Our main character is Maddie, and she is kind of an influencer in the first book. She also has a very tragic situation with her fiance that just leaves her devastated in the first book, and she inherits from her great aunt Octavia this Baby Cakes bakery and her home and baby, the Mastiff. It's just, and she's not up for any of this. It's in New Bison, Michigan. Maddie lived in the big city. She's used to the luxuries of the big city and the different amenities and things. She is not cut out to be a dog parent. She knows nothing about baking. It is like her just being thrown into the midst of everything she's not familiar with, and it's really funny, especially in the first few books. And as she continues throughout the series, she uses her social media experience to actually launch Baby Cakes into an even more, like a bigger customer base, which is awesome. And I just really enjoy this. It's a great kind of millennial cozy mystery series. The mysteries are on the shorter side and they're just really fun. Like I said, read it in order because there's some subplots going on with the town and Maddie learning more about her great aunt who left her everything, and I just really love it. It's a great series. A series that is all heart that I love and I'm almost caught up on is the Scottish Shire mystery series by Traci Hall. This is the first book in the series, Murder in a Scottish Shire. And in this book, our main character is 28 years old. She is a single mom. Her name is Paisley Shaw, and she has, I think, about a 9-year-old son named Brody. Her grandfather will also end up living with her very shortly into this book, as you'll learn about. And you have 3 generations living together, and I love the dynamics between these 3 characters. I love the heart and soul of this mystery series. And then Paisley, runs this store called Cashmere Crush, which is a knitting crocheting shop. She also will knit these handmade beautiful cashmere sweaters as like custom special orders for more money. And I just love this series. There is Wallace, the Scottish Terrier. He is a darling. But I think what really stands out to me for this is the just beautiful knitting descriptions. I really enjoy that. But Paisley herself as a character, she is just an imperfect person who is doing her best in life to provide for her son. She is doing her best to be like a good friend to others. She is just doing her best, and I applaud her for that because many days that's all I got to, and I just love her. I love her as a character. I think she is so inspiring. I love her friendships and her family in this. I love her relationships that develop throughout this, and I love it. There's one that takes place at a Scottish castle. There's one that takes place in a Scottish garden. There is one that is a Christmas one that I'm very much looking forward to reading later this year. And I think the mysteries for the series are particularly solid. I think they've surprised me more often than not. So I've really just enjoyed this. It's one that really makes my heart happy. So it made the list. Speaking of making my heart happy, Butterball the cat. That's not the name of the series. This is the Deep Dish Mystery Series by Mindy Quigley. Butterball is the cat here. And he is possibly, besides Prozac from the Jane Austen Mystery Series, which we'll get into in a minute, possibly my favorite sidekick, like animal companion of all cozy mysteries. He is a little bit of a chunky cat, as you might consider a cat named Butterball might be, and he is so darling. I love him. Our main character in this is Delilah O'Leary. I feel like it takes a book or so to warm up to her. She's a very type A, kind of grating personality at first, but she kind of grows as a character, so keep that in mind. This takes place in Wisconsin. It takes place in a town with a mob history, which comes up in several of the mysteries and I think is really fascinating. And she's opening a deep dish pizza shop with her fiance until her fiance dumps her the night before the grand opening and leaves her with a large memento from the relationship, Butterball the cat. And the mysteries for this are great. I still remember how the clue that led to the mystery being unraveled in book 2 because it was so good. It was so good. So this is an excellent mystery series. I think the mysteries are especially strong, like really good puzzlers. I love Butterball the cat. And as much as Delilah is sometimes a little bit grating, she's somebody who tries to do it all. She doesn't want to rely on other people. And I feel like she's sometimes a good reminder to myself, who can be a bit on the type A side, to not do that. So in a sense, I kind of like learning that from her, but I just love Butterball. I love the Geneva Bay, Wisconsin setting. The pizza scenes are delicious, but the mysteries especially stand out and are really good ones. There's a great locked room mystery later on in the series that I loved. It was one of my favorites. And then speaking of the Jane Austen mystery series by Laura Levine is a comedy writer. She has experience as this. So this series, although it is a cozy mystery series, I would say it's a comedy series almost first and foremost. It involves Jane Austen, who is a freelance writer in our modern day and age, and she, which I can very much empathize with as a freelancer myself, is always looking for her next gig, and this leads her to sometimes working some weird writing jobs, like writing toilet ads. And the humor Laura Levine infuses into this series is priceless. Her cat's name is Prozac. You can only imagine the jokes that begin with that. Yeah, it's not going to be the humor for everyone. It's very self-deprecating, so I don't think it's going to be for everyone, but I find it to be hilarious. The mysteries are shorter, they're more lighthearted, and it's just a historical series, and I really think if you're going to look for a series you can jump around, and this is one that there's really no building on the character throughout this. Like, it's very, like, you could jump into any book and I think you'd be fine. What I also love about this is that I think starting in book 2, you get to read emails from her parents who are in Florida, and the emails her parents send and the hijinks her father gets into and her mother pulling out her hair will make you just want to sob laughing. It is hysterical. Like, if you've had a bad day, this is the type of series I would pick up because it is so funny. Rhys Bowen. She was also one of the first cozy mystery authors I read, and this is my favorite from her. It's the Royal Spinous Mystery Series. This is the Christmas one, which I especially love. Our main character in this is Lady Georgiana Rennock, or Georgie, as she's called by friends, and she's like 34th or 35th in line for the throne, for English throne, but she's got no money, she's just got the title. So she ends up doing different odd jobs. Sometimes she does sneaky work for the Queen, which is really fun. And if you like a good historical mystery, this one takes place in the 1930s in England primarily. Sometimes she's traveling, but I just love the wit in this. I love Georgie. She refuses to marry the man who she calls Fish Face, who she's supposed to marry in the first book. That's why she's kind of destitute. And I love her spunk, I love her spirit, I love the side characters in this. The mysteries are especially strong in this. I love Rhys Bowen's writing. And last but not least, we have the Odessa Jones mystery series by Valerie Wilson Wesley. If anyone knows, is this continuing? Because there's 3 books in it right now and I've read all of them, so I'm really hoping it's continuing. Odessa Jones is actually a bit of a psychic, so this is slightly supernatural. She works at a real estate office, but she also is building a catering business on the side, so there's some delicious cooking scenes. The real estate stuff is very interesting as well. And she has like lightly supernatural, like psychic abilities. She kind of sees these glimmers and auras. And she's a very empathetic character. She can read people very well and also get a little bit of a glimpse into their inner mind, if you will, with the auras. And I just love these mysteries. I think they are so well written. I love Odessa as a character. It's a little bit more serious in tone for Cozy. It's not super lighthearted, but it's so well written. It's not like violent or anything like that, so it still fits all the cozy mystery criteria. And I just love Odessa. She's a super empathetic, caring character. She's very loyal and hardworking. She's got an aunt who is very much into her psychic abilities and is kind of like mentoring her sometimes, and that's really fascinating. But I just think this is such a well-written series and I really enjoy it. I feel like it's not talked about enough, so I want to include it on this list because it's one I really look forward to, and I'm hoping more coming out. Let me know if you know are more coming out in the series because it's so good. Alright guys, so that is all for me today. I had the hardest time ever putting this list together. I hope you will enjoy it. I hope it is helpful for you. Want to say hi, Mr. Bo? Mr. Bo wants to say goodbye to everyone, I think. He says goodbye. Yeah, I love the series on this list. I feel like if you ask me on a different day, they could be slightly different because I just have so many series that I adore, but these are ones that are just stand out. So they make a ton of recommendation videos and I just love them. They're ones that I want to just insta buy when they come out. So I hope this list will give you some more series ideas to check out, and thanks for watching. If you enjoy cozy mysteries, hit subscribe. I talk about mysteries on my channel all the time and I post new content every week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!